Today, on episode 72, part 2 of Rail Talk, it's more with Commissioner Mike Repole. I lied and said in the last one that was our season finale, but it's all one rich tapestry of arguing with Mike from Queens. Let's get into the show. I'm Joe Bianca, ownership advisor at West Point Thoroughbreds. John, anything to add?
John the Green, general manager of DJ Stable, and I agree with your assessment. Let's have some fun.
Perfect. That's the way I like it. Rail Talk is sponsored by The Green Group, the #1 accounting firm in the horse business. Is one reason no other CPA firm knows horses and the industry like they do. Len and DJ Stable own over 200 horses. They've won close to 2,600 races, almost 1,000 clients in the horse business. And there's a special offer, as always, for listeners of Rail Talk. Call Len up for a complimentary, confidential half-hour consultation where he guarantees that he'll find you savings. You just got to know that number. Give it to us, Michael.
732-634-5100. Green Group 732.
Oh man, the dulcet tones of Michael Agresta taking us right into the holidays. Michael should release, honestly, a holiday album, Julia. Like, what is he waiting for? But yeah, call Len up at 732-634-5100 or go to greenco.com. Do it before year's end so he can prove to you how much he can save you in 2025. But don't take it from me. Take it to this little-known trainer, a little scrappy barn by the name of Todd Pletcher.
Green Group has been doing our taxes for about the last 5 years. The Green Group was highly recommended to us by the McLaughlins, Karen and Letty. We were sort of in a transitional stage with our accountants, and we had someone who we'd been with for a long time, and we were kind of having trouble finding the exact right replacement. And the thing that was attractive about the Green Group to us is their familiarity with horse racing. And, so that we found that their knowledge of the horse industry has been very helpful to us. Well, I think what the Green Group can offer you is their knowledge of the business, some, tax incentives and certain areas of the business that apply only to horse racing. So it's great to have a group that's familiar with the horse racing aspect, and particularly as a trainer, gives you some additional write-offs and look at some things from some different angles than maybe a group that is not familiar with horse racing.
Thank you, Todd. And no matter how big, whether you're a titan of industry like John Green or a lowly little employee like me in the business, check them out. The Green Group. There we go. The Green Group will help you out and find you tax savings and make it more profitable, more manageable to be in this business that we all love. Len's been doing it for decades. There's a reason he's still at the top of his profession and is so well respected in the game. Go to greenco.com and find out why. You mentioned HISA, and this is a question that I've had, with you starting the NTA. Is this can this be a hand-in-hand thing between you and HISA, or are you guys somewhat at odds? Because I just wanted to quote something you wrote. It's about the Paco Lopez incident we all saw where he hit the horse in the face. And you said, the actions today of veteran jockey Paco Lopez were completely, totally unacceptable, inexcusable, and reprehensible. There's no place for this in our sport. 1,000% agree. Who could disagree with that? Then you said, this is why racing needs a national governing body and jurisdiction that reviews all these important matters immediately and can act on them promptly. Isn't that what HISA did? Didn't they step in and suspend Paco Lopez indefinitely, and he's not going to be allowed to ride horses again until he satisfies some requirements? Like, isn't that something that kind of already exists?
Joe, how many times has HISA done it that fast? Just curious.
Well, I haven't seen an incident like this. It's a unique incident.
Joe, I know I don't want to take credit for this, but I'm going to ask you this. I don't know if I send that tweet. They do it, to be honest with you.
I mean, I disagree with that. Like, I think that they've stepped in a lot of cases. Like, they're with the Parks turf course, they stepped in. Now, you could say that they should have shut it down completely, but
after the horses broke down, they shut it down. You're right.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying that there's at least someone to step in and work with the track and not start racing there again until it's safe enough. Like, I wonder. I think a lot of this is railing against something that already exists.
Joe, you could say it's my ego, but in the last year of us talking like this, and it's not just me. Maybe I started the loud conversation. I didn't start the conversation. I started the loud conversation.
Right.
People are moving a little bit faster. Okay.
No, that's fine. No, that's what I'm saying. This is what I mean. Is that it's great. Like if you're working hand in hand with them, I just don't know if it's productive to say like, shouldn't there be a body that does something like this, and they're doing something like this?
Well, they never suspended a jockey before, did they? I had no idea they were going to suspend the jockey.
I think they have.
I really did.
I think they have, but they have because of number of strikes and because of something like that. Yeah.
Like I actually was calling out the stewards in Philadelphia, who, by the way, would have let him run, just so you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely. But that's Parks. And we've been railing against Parks. We don't race there. We haven't raced there in 5 or 6 years because of all the nonsense that goes on.
No, but I use Paco Lopez, and so do you.
Yeah. Well, and actually, Mike, again, I'll give you credit and then also something else. Okay. Sure. Your influence was in my head when as soon as I saw it, I tweeted out, we're not using Paco. This is reprehensible. We're not using Paco Lopez anymore, period. And somebody, tweeted back, didn't he ride Hades? And I said, never again, or not again. But it was your voice was in my head about, hey, I'm emboldened. I'm emboldened to make this tweet.
I didn't know
before you guys. Yeah.
I didn't know you did that, and I applaud you for that.
But it was only because of your influence. I'm giving you credit on that.
But and John, I do appreciate that. But see, I actually and I might get killed for this. Like, he's an idiot. He made a mistake.
Right. Whether
his suspension is 90 days or 6 months, I don't think that one mistake we should ban him for life. Like I actually in 6 months, I'm about forgiveness. Like I'm sorry. If a player gets suspended in baseball or football for 6 games, I still have to root for him, right? Like this was, unless you want to ban him for 10 years, like Dutro,
right?
I won't say I'll never use him,
right? As
long as he gets penalized to what I think is very fairly, but I made sure I'm taking him off a battle drum, and that's it. But I'm not going to say I'm never going to ride him again, because I believe in forgiveness. Listen, Paco hasn't been the cleanest jockey in 20 years. Let's just be honest. And I've used him, and you've used him, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's almost killed humans. Forget about hitting a horse, by the way, right?
Right.
So,
and that's why the suspension made sense, because of his body of work, more so than that one incident.
He's a recidivist.
Yeah.
There you go.
But I just, again, when Irad, gets suspended for 30 days for taking out a rookie jockey, I still rode him, but he deserves 60 days, not 30. The jockey that pulled up the wire the first time, that was a mistake. The second time, he should have got 60 days. You can make a mistake once. You can't be stupid twice.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The second time, he was stupid.
But that's also the reason why I think HISA is working in this situation, because there is a big brother watching something like this.
Right.
And I'll give you an example, Mike.
When HISA goes after George Weaver, who's never had an issue for metformin, and all of a sudden they stop him immediately and scratch all his horses and overreact. By the way, I am a huge fan of Lisa Lazarus. I mean, first of all, I'm a bigger fan of her son, who goes to Dartmouth and plays football. Him and his friends come to Saratoga. I'd rather hang out with him than Lisa any day. He's way cooler. And a lot more
Lisa's great. Come on.
I said she's great, but I like her son more.
All right.
I think you're great. Okay. I think you're great, but I like your father a lot more.
Yeah, join the club. Join the club.
I think Joe's great, but I like Jason Blewett a lot lot more than Joe.
For sure.
I'm not saying like you guys. I just like people more. Don't get offended. So at the end of the day, I do love Lisa, and you know what? Surprisingly, I go to her on things when I want to bounce something off somebody, and she goes to me. Believe it or not, I don't believe that. The biggest thing about I hope people aren't stupid enough to see an entrepreneur like me thinking that I just am playing on Twitter. I play strategic games on Twitter. Trust me. I'm talking to every stallion farm, every organization. I have meetings, and Pat and I are doing a lot of this, and this is going to take time, man. I need the Jockey Club for this to work. I need the Breeders' Cup for this to work. I need HISA for it to work. I need Churchill, Naira, Gulfstream. I need all these organizations to work. My goal, and I shouldn't even be telling you guys this, but you guys are breaking me down here. In January, Pat right now is working on a meeting in Florida with all the top leaders in this game, 10 of them, they've never sat in a room and a table. I'm going to pay for their hotel. I'm going to pay for their dinner. We're going to put a bunch of topics up. And all I'm going to do is be the waiter. Just what do you need, guys? Talk this out. Like, let's bring this up. Let's put that in the parking lot. At the end of the day, if we agree on 3 of 10 subjects, let's fix the 3.
Yeah,
let's
exactly.
Let's
exactly. You need to lock the fucking door. Is what you need to do once you get them all into that room.
I don't do that. What I do is I serve good food and good wine. They don't want to leave. They don't want to leave. You know, and I'm going to put them up with 4 seasons.
That's exactly what's needed, though. Is you need to have all these powers together in one room with a moderator to kind of get. And you're right. If you can get a couple of things off of the list taken care of, it's only going to make the industry better.
Now, Joe and Jon. We're all good friends.
Are you inviting us, Mike? Is this an exclusive? You're inviting us to the room?
Free food? I'm there.
I'm gonna if you don't have Tinky on, I'll do a show after him. So we're gonna have Sharon's gonna be there. I mean, so Keeneland, maybe Boyd, depends if I'm in a good mood or not. We're gonna have all these people here. Right. We're gonna put them together, man. And we're gonna if we can't get aftercare there, that's embarrassing. But I'm gonna ask you two guys. If this was ever, do you think, by the way, I'll ask you guys, do you think that's a good idea? Yes or no?
Yeah. I think it's more cooperation, the better.
Yeah. Okay. I think it's a phenomenal idea. And Mike, you named a lot of the people that need to be in that room, whether it's Lisa or Shannon or Jim Gagliano or
I'm going to share the Gagliano and Everett, Drew Fleming, Bill, Belinda and Aiden, Dave O'Rourke, Boyd, Jim Gagliano, I don't know whatever I said. Sharon, is it Shannon or Sharon? I always say it wrong.
Shannon Arvin. Shannon Arvin from Keeneland.
Shannon, I apologize, by the way.
And Drew Fleming, you mentioned, right?
And Drew Fleming.
Okay.
Like, who am I missing?
And any owners?
John Green.
No, I'm not advocating for me, but
one owner who I have tremendous respect for. I got to be honest with you.
All right, you gonna have my dad in there?
Me. That's it. So come on, fucking me. Okay, that's it. Me. And by the way, I respect your dad. Remember, I told you that. Not you.
I know.
I like you. I love your dad. So, but hold on. I just don't want any owners there because this isn't even about me.
Right.
Like I want these guys to figure it out. I have thought about a stallion farm, 1 or 2 big stallion farm. That's the only one I'm also thinking. But help me out. Is there anybody? The other ABC boards to me are useless. Is there anybody off the top of your list? Help me. You guys, this is our board meeting right now. Go.
No, you named all the important people. That I can think of as far as checking boxes from all the right different divisions of racing. I think somebody from Kentucky, whether it's Spendthrift or Three Chimney or or any of the Lane's End or any of the other big farms, but it's got to be the right person because again, just because they have the name doesn't mean that they have the entrepreneurial spirit or they have the ability.
I thought, since this is just between the 3 of us and no one's going to see this anyway.
Yeah, nobody's going to see this.
Eric Gustafson and Ned. The reason why
and you got to have somebody from Coolmore. You got to have somebody from Coolmore if you're going to have somebody from a Kentucky barn.
Listen, everybody knows that I have a good relationship with Coolmore, but I'm not best friends with them like John Stewart, but I have a relationship with them.
Exactly. But they're the 800-pound gorilla. They are the 800-pound gorilla in the breeding.
You know what? I got news for you. Coolmore buys my horses. I don't buy theirs, just so they know. But very clear. I don't agree with a lot of what Coolmore does for a lot of reasons. And I've told them I don't believe in the 275 breedings. Okay. And I'm going to tell you something else that I've called them out on. Okay. They breed 2,500 horses. How many horses do they race here?
Right. That's a good question. I don't know the answer to that. I don't know the answer to that.
Listen, and I can't wait till Coolmore gets pissed off at this. They take the profits they make here and they send it to Ireland and Europe and England and everywhere else. Like, why hasn't anybody said, what the fuck are you doing here?
Right.
I've done it to their face. Now I'm doing it here.
Wouldn't that be reason enough to bring them to the table, though? Because you need to have, outliers that have different outlooks.
You know what? I honestly, I need to bring people at the table right now that aren't really just concerned about their self-interest. So I'm the barometer on who I think is self-interest and who's not.
And look, you're calling the meeting, so it's totally on your arse for who you want to invite.
Coolmore's going to want the turf races, the Breeders' Cup to be $20 million because they'll bring in their squad. They're going to want to breed 400 mares. So no, I'm not doing that.
Okay,
that's a fair point.
And by the way, they're my partner in Fierceness and
Fierceness. Exactly.
So we're going to pause it right there. Hope you're enjoying the fisticuffs between me, Johnny, and Mike Repole. We're going to take a quick time out, go to an ad break, go to a commercial break, and then we'll come right back with more with Commissioner Mike Repole. Rail Talk is sponsored by Fasig-Tipton. The Fasig-Tipton December digital sale wraps up tomorrow, December 11th. We're recording this on Tuesday. As we said last week, groundbreaking, record numbers of entries to the digital sale. And if you're not involved on the digital platform, you're getting left behind. Check them out at digital.fasig-tipton.com. And don't forget about the selected yearling sales. You can nominate now for the July sale, which is July 8th, the Saratoga sale, August 4th and 5th, and the New York bred yearling sale also in Saratoga, August 10th and 11th. It was a banner year for Fasig-Tipton. I think they're going to break that $100 million mark in 2024. And you want to be involved, because these showcases for these yearlings are unlike any other in the market, especially the Saratoga sale. So we can't wait to see all of the new exciting horses in 2025 for Fasig-Tipton. Congratulations on a phenomenal 2024, and still time to get down on some of those Fasig-Tipton digital offerings. I want to pivot and talk about Fierceness. So first, two-part question. And I know this is risky, giving Mike a two-part question. First part is I want to hear.
Well, let's start with one part, Joe.
Yeah,
okay. Well, no, because we're running up against our man Skip here. Two-part question. One, make the case for Fierceness for 3-year-old champion, because I'm sympathetic to that. I think he ran the best race in the Classic, and he ran the best race in the Travers, and blah blah blah. Second part. I appreciate that you're bringing him back as a 4-year-old to race. Yeah. So make the case for Fierceness for 3-year-old champion, and then tell us why it was important for you to bring him back as a 4-year-old.
I mean, to me, it's pretty simple. If anybody watches the entire body of work, you can line up. He lost to this owner's son. I can't stand Hattie's in the first race.
Yeah, okay? Hades. At least get his name right.
Yeah. With that, Hades, whatever. He had some jock Paco Lopez. I couldn't believe the guy was riding him, but that's another story too. So I heard it was his son's decision, because I know Len would.
It's always all the bad decisions are mine. Yeah. Okay, go ahead, keep going.
We're aligned, me and you, finally. Good. So, comes back in the Florida Derby, and he puts on something that you'll remember the rest of your life. 14 and a half lengths, and he shows this brilliance. And Sierra Leone comes back and wins the Bluegrass, which is awesome. He shits the bed in the Kentucky Derby. What do you want to tell you? He shits the bed. Can't hide that. He shits the bed, right? Sierra Leone comes in second, really third, but other than him, put the Japanese horse in a headlock. Don't worry about that. Then he comes back, and Sierra Leone doesn't win. Did Sierra Leone win? After let's try to do some math here. After the race, the Bluegrass,
he didn't win again until the Classic.
Wow. Yeah.
Shit. Was that like 8 months, 9 months? What is that like? Holy shit! He almost qualified for never win 2 for 6 months or more. Okay, no problem. But let me skip. We go to the Jim Dandy and we race against this horse. I don't know if you know. His name is Sierra Leone.
Right.
Okay. He comes in second to us. Okay.
Yep.
Then we run against the top filly in the country, Torpedo Anna, and probably what I think, and I'm biased, but I've heard everybody else, maybe the race of the year.
Yeah.
Fierceness and Torpedo Anna. If there was an eclipse for a race of the year,
right,
I think that would win it. Like, let's be honest.
I agree.
Other than your daughter's race last night against the quarter mile against her class.
Andrew.
She raced.
Yeah, Andrew.
She ran against the boy, and she came in second. She beat 9 other boys and 8 other girls in the class. But this boy Andrew, I'm gonna have to have a talk with his father.
We're still waiting. We're still waiting on the urine test to come back. But anyway, I'm sorry I interrupted you. Yes, that was the best equine race of the year.
But listen, who's gonna win horse of the year?
Torpedo Anna.
No doubt. I agree with you. How many races has she lost this year?
2?
None. No, 1. One to the Travers, yeah.
To who?
To Fierceness.
Oh, yeah. And you know who came in third in that race?
Sierra Leone.
Oh, wow. These two are the best horses in the country. And then if anybody knows anything about, you don't have to be sympathetic. The horse goes 22, 45, 109. Okay. Johnny's got him in a spot, not Johnny's fault. He's got this Japanese horse with blinkers that takes off. And then the goal was for Arthur's Ride to clear us and us to sit third. Arthur's Ride was fast enough to be up with us, but not fast enough to clear us. So we're stuck right there.
Right.
Those horses, check with the Japanese horse and Arthur's Ride what place they came in. Okay? Last and second to last. And here we are, top of the stretch. Sierra Leone has us. He's going to blow by us by about 10 lengths, it looks like. And we fight the entire way of the stretch.
Yep.
And we lost to him that day.
Right.
He was the better horse. He was the better horse that day.
Right.
If I asked 100 people next year, you want to grab Fierceness for the year or Sierra Leone? It's not close. We beat him twice and he beat us once. It's not close. World ranking reports. I don't know if you guys go with a global. They have Torpedo Anno fourth and they have Fierceness fifth.
Right.
Do you know the place they have Sierra Leone? Not in the top 10.
Not top 10. Yeah, exactly. Yep. That much I know. Yeah.
Listen, if you're going to grade this on whoever wins the Breeders' Cup, then don't even worry about the Travers and don't even worry about the King Dandy. And don't worry. And by the way, Joe and Jonathan, I don't know if winning a race by a head or 14 lengths in the Florida Derby, to me, I love brilliance, man. I love, you guys had Flightline, Joe, right? That's pretty fun when he does that. I mean, Sierra Leone comes in second and third. I mean,
a little bit of a plotter.
A little bit? A little bit, yeah, okay. You know, so it's not close. Right. Joe, I know I'm not putting you guys on the spot because this is all fun for me.
Yeah.
Who's the best 3-year-old?
To me, Fierceness.
Okay. John, who's the best 3-year-old?
Locked.
Okay, good. That's a good answer. So, who's the best 3-year-old, John? I don't mind if you say, I don't care.
Honestly, all right, if you look at it on paper, then you're looking at Fierceness. If you look at it from the way that people are going to vote, it's going to be Torpedo Anna because of the story, because she ran against the boys.
No. I'm talking about Colt.
Talking about just the boys? Just the boys? All right, because I do that a lot. I look at it in its totality as far as
we got it. All
right, I'm buying time, dude. All right, I'm just trying to
what?
Yeah, it's going to be Fierceness.
Okay, but what are they going to vote?
They're going.
Sierra Leone's going to win.
Yeah,
he's going to win.
Who's going to win Trainer of the Year?
It should
Chad
be
Brown,
McPeak.
probably.
It should be.
I
McPeak.
think it should be Kenny, but Chad's going to win.
You guys just said. You said Chad Brown. You said McPeak.
Yeah.
It should definitely be McPeak.
Yeah.
Okay.
But who should win and who's going to win?
I think McPeak's going to win. I think.
Really?
Who's won the Kentucky Derby? Who's won the Kentucky Derby and the Kentucky Oak? Who's done that?
And,
Maybe you're right. I hope you're right.
I mean, he's got Horse of the Year. You want to give it to Gandolfin's going to win Owner of the Year every year just because they got 4,000 horses.
Right. Yes.
I think this guy Mike Repole should win Owner of the Year. I don't know what you guys think, but
you're disqualified because you're the commish. You automatically get disqualified from that.
You know what? When Johnny won his Eclipse Award, he didn't disqualify himself.
All right, but that was self designed. If you want
you just got to get one to yourself, Mike.
Yeah, exactly. The problem is your acceptance speech was too long. That's why they're not going to give it to you again.
You know what? I gave the violin guy $1,000.
I know. All right, I got one more question for you, and we appreciate you spending over an hour with us. We really do, because I know your time is commodity out there. So you mentioned all the people who are going to be in the room for the important meeting that's coming up in January. You mentioned that you're a disruptor, and that's why you go on Twitter. One name has been very obviously left out, okay, as far as a newcomer in the industry who is buying $1 million, $6 million all over the world and everything like that. And you've been battling with Jon Stewart from Resolute Racing on Twitter. What's your feeling on him, and why do you have a beef with him?
I think he's very inconsistent. Listen, for people who like me, you're going to like me. For people who think I'm an asshole, they're going to think I'm an asshole. But by the way, if you ask me if I'm a good guy, the answer is yes. If you ask me if I'm an asshole, I'm going to say yes also.
Right. I was going to say, what if I think both?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what?
Both can be true.
You should. Jon Stewart it's almost like he's trying to define who he is. Jon, you and your family have been in this game for how many years now?
Almost 40, if you can believe it.
40.
Yeah.
I've been in the game 20 as an owner.
20. Yeah.
This weekend, he fought with L&J. You know, it's Larry, Nancy, and Jamie, and he fought with Jamie. Like, to me, these are people who have respected owners in the game that have won some of the biggest races and have been in the game for 30 years. And you're going to come in here 1 year and know everything. First of all, he's focused in Japan about handing off, Goliath stickers and cards and T-shirts. He tweets out, Jon, I know, and I hope this is not a bad thing, but I know your dad flies private with you sometimes. Right. Because you give Ed Rosen a ride once in a while. That's how I know it, okay?
That's only because the guy who works for it won't pay for a ticket. But all right, that's a whole other therapy session. Okay.
No, I would pay for first class. I'm not going to fly in private, okay? So, and Ed is flying private with me too.
Yep.
When was the last time you tweeted out, me and my dad are getting gas in Alaska? What do you think? Okay? I don't think we do that. I don't know how that looks.
Right.
How many times have you put on Twitter, hey, MV Magner, I'm going to outbid you today. Let's go. When is this game about outbidding people? Jon, you outbid me on Sandman. I didn't put out, I'm going to get you next time.
Right.
So that's that. The other thing is, I'm just going to be honest. When he first started in this game, I met him at Keeneland. His first statement to the press was, I'm not a bidder, I'm a buyer. I would have to guess he's been run up between $5 and $10 million by that.
Right.
I'm going to tell you right now, there's horses I wanted for $250. Right. I know he's been. I raised my hand to about $650. I let him get it for $700. By the way, that's not running him up, Joe and Jon. You know why? If he stops, guess who gets the horse?
Right. Yeah. You get caught speeding. Yeah, exactly.
So every time he's bidding, I'm going to bid. I don't care. You can't be this dumb.
Right.
But somehow he is. Hold on. Now, I've tried at the very beginning to say, hey, listen, I've been in this game for 20 years. I know a lot about it. This is not sustainable. Let me feel. No, he's got all the answers. Jon, we know what these horses cost. We know how much they cost a month. I don't have a farm, Jon, do you?
No, sir. Nope.
No, sir. He has a farm. Okay. Right. This is not sustainable. No. I'm going to put a bet out here, and Joe and Jon, you could play if you want. I give him till July of 2026 before he's totally out of the game. And by the way, I hope I'm wrong.
Right.
But it's not sustainable. You can't go to Japan and go to England and go to tax and spend $8 million. You can't go to O'Connor and spend $2 million. It's not sustainable. Jon, what he's going to find out, and Joe, West Point knows this too, that, most of the time you don't get it. And then he's got a farm.
Right.
His upkeep on the farm and 150 horses, I don't know, what is it, maybe 12 million a year?
Yeah. Well,
maybe.
And that's the thing. Like, what is his end game? What is he trying to promote is what I'm trying to figure out.
I don't know. And by the way, listen, and I hope I'm wrong. Listen, I've seen this happen to richer people.
Yeah.
The money runs dry.
Well, that's it. Mm-hmm. We all run out of money before we run out of horses.
So even
though the population's been going down.
Exactly. You have a 40-year history. I think you're okay. By the way, could you and your dad spend more money if you wanted to?
Sure, we could.
Sure, you could. So can I.
Yeah.
But you don't because you're not dumb.
Right. Well, because you look for value. You look for value. And I guess if you're new in any business, you're not going to recognize value over price, right?
Well, he's trying to make headlines, and it's worked.
He is.
He's gotten a lot of press from certain outlets.
Joe, you know what the biggest press he's going to have is dispersal set.
I know. That's what I'm
listen,
expecting.
I'm not trying to, I sincerely would love to talk to new. The game needs owners like this, but I'd rather him spend $10 million for the next 10 years than $100 million in a year, which he's doing.
Right. Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's not. Yep. Hey, I love that. I got the under in July of 2026. You guys have the over and under. I'm just curious. Joe?
I think that's a fair line.
I know it's a good line. I made it.
Yeah.
He makes it through this year. What do you got?
Right.
I'll say slightly over. I'll say the end of 2026.
Wow.
Okay.
I'm sticking with my answer of Therpida Anna.
John, you know what? I'm going to let you off because it's a tough. I knew Joe would answer it. That's why I went to him first, by the way. I got him there. So there we go. But
Mike,
now
Mike,
I'm
so
going to
you-
hate Joe too. But
So
listen,
we've been talking.
I want to
we've
be
been
very
talking for-
clear.
Go ahead.
I hope he makes it. I
Yeah.
really do. He can be good for the game. But when he writes a 20-page essay that in 1 year he doesn't even know. I watched him talk about a horse he bought in France on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
He looked like a guy who was asked about a book he never read and was telling you about it. It was so uncomfortable.
Right.
It was like, guy, don't do that. Don't act like you know what you're talking about. So
Just as a general rule, nobody's reading those long ass tweets, and that goes for everybody who's posting those novels.
I think mine
on
they
Twitter.
read. Joe, I think you read mine, Joe. Come on. Yeah. You never know
I
when
get the
there's something
highlights.
shot there. So,
I got the Repole digest sent to me, the highlights.
okay, good. good.
Hey, Mike Repole, this has been so much fun. Thank you so much for coming on. Let's do this every couple of months. Why not? Come on, bust balls, talk about racing.
John just sent me a text. Mike, next year, I don't really need Joe. If you want to do this with me,
That's right. You didn't read the first part, which was on the QT, Mike. It was supposed to be on the QT. You blew it. You already
my
blew
ADD
it.
kicked in. I just went right to
man.
the gist of it. So, listen.
All right,
listen,
John's
you
future
guys,
co-host.
Honestly, you guys really do a good job. And I think more fun podcasts like this, handling the real topics and the ability to get experts like Tinky. You guys are incredible. Seriously, I got to give you a lot of credit. But
Wow.
but make this more challenging and ask the tough questions, because I think we need a podcast that, like, you're not gonna upset me, like you're not gonna hurt me or offend me. Like, there are people out there that would want to be vocal, and we all should be vocal. And I'm glad that you guys engage not just with questions, with opinions also, because I'm not always right. You guys are not always wrong. I'm not always wrong. You're not always right. So, but at the end of the day, I think one thing we share in common is we love the game.
Yep.
And we want it to be better.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Perfect place to end it. Thank you, brother, man. Happy holidays to you and your fam.
All right, guys. Take care, man. Take care.
Thanks,
Bye.
Mike.
Rail Talk is sponsored by TaylorMade. If you're making breeding decisions for the 2025 season, go check out the TaylorMade Stallion roster. Not this time, I assume, is fully booked, but there's plenty of up-and-coming stallions up and down that roster. We got 2 by Tacitus that we saw at the West Point Yearling Showcase last Saturday in Ocala. Really, really impressive yearlings. So I would get in on the ground floor with Tacitus, Instagram, Idol, and Stilled Regard. A lot of horses at price points that I think are going to look like a bargain in 2 or 3 years from now. And of course, TaylorMade is your one-stop shop for all sales consignments, whether it comes to yearlings, broodmares, weanlings, horses of racing age. That's going to become more and more prevalent with the digital sales. So go check them out at tailormadefarm.com and check out the stallion roster while you're at it.
And Joe, I did find out, this is newsflash right here for all of our listeners. I spoke to Ben Taylor, and he said that he would shake loose a season to any of their stallions for Goodnight Olive.
Oh man, this is really a family affair today on Rail Talk. We got all the guests, wanted and unwanted, popping up on our screen. Patty Wolf is no longer here. She's not dead, but she's no longer on the screen.
God.
So in that case, we'll bring in our intrepid associate producer, Julia Agresta, who's got another game for us. Hey, Jules.
Hey, you can just call me Mini Patty.
We would never insult you like that.
Stop it.
Patty's already pretty mini, so I don't know.
I'm not your target audience for besmirching Patty. It's never going to go well for you too.
Nobody likes it except for us.
Except for us. And it's our show.
Well, speaking of things that you guys don't like, my game is called Bah Humbug,
I like it already.
Carol, a Christmas Julia Carol.
Oh, okay.
There are 2 parts of this game. First, I'm going to be humming a Christmas song. First one to guess the song correctly, have an additional point if you tell me what's the Christmas movie I associate it with.
You need to know what movie you associate it with?
A Julia Carol. Merry Christmas, happy holidays to us all, but most importantly, me.
All right. This is why we never let Julia on, because 3 egos this big
Exactly.
gonna explode.
It's fun for me because my brother Peter, who listens to the show religiously, I feel like he'll be able to play along from home, and
All
he
right.
will get it.
Shout out to Peter.
Now
Yeah.
Is he a racing fan?
He wasn't. He had no idea. Joey does have a problem with how many times you say horse flesh. It reminds him too much of man flesh from Lord of the Rings.
You find a better way to describe the supple,
A horse.
impressive, dappled skin of a horse.
Yep.
So whoever guesses it correctly automatically has the right to guess what movie I know. But if you get it wrong, your counterpart can guess the movie and get the point back. And it's only 1 point each, so I can keep score.
Also, like, how are we supposed to know that you are this all-star hummer that we're going to be able to guess these like so easily?
Okay.
Did you go to,
Joe
did you go to
has
humming
negative
school?
1 point. Don't bite the hand that feeds.
So wait. So do we both jump in or?
Yeah, whoever gets it first, whoever I hear first. Number 1.
Green. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
No.
Keep going.
How much time are we going to give?
Peter would get it. You guys give up?
Guess something, Joe.
Melatinicamaka is a wise way to say Merry Christmas to you. No?
I don't know this song.
Dear God. All right.
So
Scratched.
Julia gets a negative 100 points for starting with a song neither one of us knows.
I literally thought that was the easiest one. I put it as number 1.
Oh my God.
From National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
This is a terrible start.
Terrible game. Green.
Yes.
All I want for Christmas is you.
Yay! A point for John. What movie?
movie?
What Christmas movie do I associate it with?
Do I get a point if I can guess the movie?
A very Brady sequel.
No.
Love Actually?
Yay!
Yeah. All right.
Things are working now.
Just have to edit out the first 7 minutes.
At the end of 6 songs, it's John won, Joe won.
Yeah.
Sorry that I overestimate your guys' ability. It's my fault.
Yes, you should know better. Green.
Yes.
Baby, it's cold outside.
Correct.
Damn, I suck at this.
What movie?
Elf.
Yay! You
Wow.
did it.
I'm dreaming
Green.
with Joe.
I'm dreaming of a
You
white Christmas.
started talking first, Joe.
Wait, he didn't
White
say his
Christmas.
name, though.
What's the movie?
I don't know. Some Bing Crosby shit? I don't know.
It's Think of Julia.
Do I have to?
If you want to win, John. The Santa Claus.
I feel like that movie, this is where it gets hard because I have to figure out what movie you associate it with when that song has been in probably 24 Christmas movies at least.
We're like in the same age bracket, though, man.
So what?
You would think you would know which one.
There's a lot of Christmas movies that came out in our age bracket.
Fine.
Anyway.
Anyway, that's when they go to Denny's.
But 3-2, right? 3-2, John.
It's 3-2, John. Okay.
Go.
Green.
Joe's
Jingle
first.
Bell Rock.
Jingle Bell Rock. John! It was me.
I
It was my
first.
turn.
Jingle Bell Rock is correct. What movie?
Die
Oh, John, you might be.
Hard.
No. John?
Seabiscuit.
Oh, God.
It's a racing show.
You know? Incorrect. It's Mean
Is it?
Girls.
Mean Girls. Oh, okay. I could see that. Yeah.
It's tied 3-3.
Green.
Go.
Green
Sam-
first.
Santa Claus is coming to town.
I don't
Yeah.
know. We're going to have to go to the replay on that.
No. And from what movie?
Elf.
It's not what I associate it with.
But that is the
It's in
end of
Elf.
the movie song for Elf.
It's in there.
Okay.
Joe, you want to steal?
I really don't know that many Christmas movies,
Apparently
honestly.
not.
It's a Wonderful Life.
God, you guys, it's from the movie Santa Claus is Coming to Town.
Well, again, I agree with Joe.
John
my
is the
co-host,
winner.
who says that I'm not taking this win because this was a silly game.
I'm sorry. Did you want a serious game?
Thanks, Julia. for
Yeah,
that.
you're so
Doing
welcome.
We
It was
appreciate it.
total
It's too bad-
blast.
It's too bad you're moving to South Carolina where we
I
can't
had a
come in and give you a big
Great
hug,
time.
a big holiday hug. in thanks.
Third time's the charm. Next game Julia comes up with will be great.
You guys will rue the day. I've had enough of it.
You know
Merry
that we
Christmas.
love you. You know that we love you, Jules.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Peter, I bet you got 5 out of 5. Text
One
me
of
if you
us did?
do. No, I said Peter. I trust in Peter.
Gotcha.
Goodbye.
So it is the holidays. We're going to bring the entire Rail Talk family together. This man is back by popular demand. Skip, you are one of the most famous, popular people on this podcast, one of 3 at least. Skip Anderson, welcome back to the show.
Hey, Joe. Hey, John. How are you guys? Glad to be back.
Oh, Steven. It's been too long, my friend. No, I'm serious. I saw my dad at Thanksgiving, and he was like, "When is Skip going to be back?" Yeah, shout out to Russ. He's a big Skip fan. He's not the only one.
So does that mean Skip's check finally cleared?
He skips to the end of the show to see Skip,
I like it.
as most of us would. The other reason we're having you back on the show is this is very exciting that you completed your master's and it's in a horse racing related topic. And we sat in on your presentation earlier this year, and it was awesome. Like it was really impressive. We'll throw up the graphic right now, the little poster that kind of sums up what you were looking into. And it's the impact of media on price paid for thoroughbred horses at auction. Now, this is an interesting topic for many reasons, but it's a growing sector of the sales business. It used to be you didn't have any video, right, maybe a photo or two. Skip, just tell us a little bit about this project and kind of what you found in studying it.
Sure. So as you guys know, I've always had a background in livestock and livestock marketing. And as I've got into thoroughbred horse racing a lot more, I started watching the sales and looking how that industry went. And as I was paging through the Fasig-Tipton catalog and the Keeneland catalogs and looking at the online versions of those, I started looking and seeing, man, there's a lot of horses that don't sell with pictures and or video. And the industry that I come from, we talk about livestock selling cattle or sheep or something like that. You've really got to have a photo. It makes a big difference. And I thought, man, why aren't there pictures of all of these horses? You would think, $300,000, $1 million horses, why wouldn't you have a picture of them? So I started just looking through and crunching some numbers and said, I think this is going to be an interesting research topic. So I reached out to my advisor, here at NDSU, and I didn't have a project. And I said, this is what I want to do. And his trade is meat science. I'm a shepherd by trade. And I said, let's do a thoroughbred marketing project and see what we can come up with. So we started diving into the numbers, looking and reaching out to Fasig-Tipton and Keeneland and getting some of the sale data and using the information that's on the web. And from 2022 and 2023, we looked at 18,000 sale records of horses in our data set. That was our N that we started with. And 2/3 of those horses sold with photos or video, and 1/3 didn't. So I thought, wow, there's got to be some difference in that. If there's still 6,000 horses that are being traded in those years without media, let's see if there's a price difference to it. So I worked with a statistician in our animal science department, and she and I started working through some things, and we started seeing some trends and some interesting pieces. And we found that there's a $73,000 difference between horses that have media, so pay media meaning pictures or video, and versus those that don't. And then we went in further and broke it down by weanlings, yearlings, and then we call them horses of racing age and older, which really captured most of the broodmare category. And you're looking at differences from $25,000 up to $89,000 plus difference on those with media versus without media. And I found that to be an interesting idea that I think can really change the way people market their horses, the way people buy horses, and how the auction companies utilize media to get the message out.
Now, Skip, I think that's phenomenal. And we've talked about it at OBS as far as the importance of having video, walking videos, galloping videos, even right down to simple, basic confirmation photos. Yep. And, believe it or not, there's still an old guard that doesn't want to do it. And their rationale has been, well, if I put a picture up there or a video up there, it's going to give a potential buyer a reason not to like the horse. Okay. Yep. I've never agreed with that answer. But now you're saying that it could be a $73,000 difference on average per horse?
Yep, absolutely. When we looked at those 18,000 horses, there was a $73,000 difference. Wow. So as to counter that thought about not putting a picture up there, why wouldn't you give every opportunity for your customer to say yes, to see that animal, to promote that animal? There are tremendously good live photographers out there that take pictures that can capture good images of those animals and good videos of those animals. Let people see them. It changes their behavior. It captures the excitement.
Right. And Skip, as far as the 18,000 horses that you looked at, I don't know if you can do this, or if you did do this, or if you can do this if you didn't. But did you carve out, like, I'm going to say book 6 of the Keeneland yearling sale, for example, where you probably had a predominant number of horses that didn't have photos, but the averages aren't as high. So it's not going to be like there's a $75,000 difference between prices if there's a picture or not. I would think the numbers would be even more jarring if you cut out kind of that group of horses.
Yeah. So for this particular research, we just wanted to use this as a benchmarking project on how much media makes an impact. Now, if I were going to sign on and do a PhD or wanted to do some further research, I think you could really dive in and look at those horses that had just pictures, those that horses that had pictures and video, split it out that way, broke it up by those books or those types of sales. If you look just strictly at maybe breeding stock sales versus yearling sales versus whatever, and looked at it that way, you could probably really see some real differences. We just wanted to use this as the benchmark on how much does media impact sales. So then we can actually, from my interest, tie it into other species of livestock, is where we started using this as the base.
No, that's great. And I love your background, how you tied your background into this research, because yeah, I mean, you come from, I think this is one of the things that initially attracted you to horse racing and breeding, right? That you had a similar background?
Yeah, absolutely. The sales and marketing portion is huge for me. So when those sale catalogs get posted, I'm always studying those. I'm watching the Fasig-Tipton digital sale right now that is certainly having a great day already. And when we start looking at the impacts of pictures and media from that standpoint, you have to have them now in a digital sale. They're not on site. They're not somewhere where people can look at them. So we know that that's important. Our data was really just focusing on those live sales, on which ones had pictures and media, pictures and videos prior to the sale that people could look at versus going and seeing the animal on site.
Okay, so then my other takeaway from all this, Skip, I know you're not saying it, so I'm going to spell it out for our audience, is that they should pay for some kind of marketing or sponsorship on this show that has, industry penetration of 50 to 60,000 people, and maybe perhaps throw a horse on the show. That's what you're saying, right?
Absolutely. Picture sell.
That's why you're our special correspondent, Skip. So, switching gears, what's going on with you and Kelly and Wynn for the holidays? You're very festive. I appreciate that background. It's getting me in the mood for the holidays and for Christmas already. What do you guys got going on this season?
Well, actually, we're going to jump in the car a few days before the holidays, and we're going to drive to Oklahoma. And that's where Kelly was born and raised. She's an Oklahoma bred, and we are going to head there for a few days to see her parents and spend some time with that side of the family. We're looking forward to
Remington Park open?
It might be. I guess we're still 3 hours west of there, so I don't know if I could sneak away to go to the track. That might be frowned upon, but certainly.
The fact that you look,
it might take that long to get like milk and cigarettes. You may have to do that. You may have to be like, hey, I'm going to go run to the store and bet a daily double.
Absolutely. How about you guys? What are your big plans?
We're going to be in Oklahoma as well.
All right.
Fancy that.
All right. Let's do it. We'll get the band together.
Megan and I might be adding a little baby to the Bianca Lyons household. We're getting a puppy, I think, over Christmas. So that's exciting.
Way.
Nice.
Oh.
What kind?
Oh.
I think we're going to get a whippet. Because we had a Saluki, so we really love sight hounds, and we were going to try to get another Saluki, but there's like 4 Saluki breeders in the entire country, so it was kind of hard. So we're going to go a little bit smaller, but just as fast, just as aloof. We're ready for it.
Are we going to have a naming contest for it, Joe?
Spit it out. Give me some names right now.
We
John.
could have a sponsor. We could have a sponsorship though. We could if you want to have a vote, it's $1. If you want to have 10 votes, it's $10. Like we could probably make this into a sponsorship situation for you.
That's what the people want.
It is,
or they just want us to name it, or Julia or Patty.
Skip is a good name for a dog. Skip is actually a good name for a dog.
They made a movie out of that, wasn't there? My Dog Skip, something like that.
That's right. My Dog Skip. That's right. Exactly. I am not able to disclose my plans as there would be a fear for my security and safety. That's why I'm throwing everybody off by saying I'm going to be in Oklahoma.
John needs that Secret Service that CEO should have had.
It happens. Exactly. I'm afraid. Of course, it happened in New York, Joe.
Right. Yeah. No, that's why John's scared to come.
That's why I'm not coming.
But Oklahoma is a paradise for.
It's okay
for
because
John,
nobody's got guns in Oklahoma.
Right. Exactly. All right. This is getting a little dark.
Yeah.
We'd rather keep it at the happy holidays mark. Skip, thank you for coming on. Congratulations again on the Masters, and Merry Christmas, my friend.
Yeah. Same to you guys.
Good seeing you, buddy.
And good seeing you too. And enjoy 2025 as we move into it.
Yep. Happy and healthy to all of us.
Happy.
Absolutely.
All right, so that's going to do it officially for the Rail Talk second season. It's been a fabulous 2024. Thank you to Mike Repole for stopping by. It was a lot of fun. We're going to try to have him back on in the near future because, his heart's in the right place, and it's always fun, a Brooklyn guy arguing with a Queens guy, and it tickled me pink, John, to have Mike on. So shout out to Mike Repole for coming through. Shout out to Skip Anderson for popping in. Happy holidays to Skip and his family. Congratulations again, Skip, on the Masters. It's really fascinating work, and you should go check him out, especially on Twitter at @BabaAkers. Thank you to our producer, Patty Wolf. Our associate producers, Julia Agresta and Nathan Wilkinson. My co-host, John Green. Love you guys. I'm so glad and so proud of what we've put out this year. It's been a phenomenal year. Couldn't do it without all of your hard work. Thank you to you, the listeners, for tuning in. Enjoy the holidays. Have a very happy and safe new year. We'll see you back here early in 2025 on Rail Talk.